The Shade Room, y'all know the Shade Room. The Shade Room did a recent investigation on this infamous strip club, Magic City in Atlanta. I always want to go to Magic City. Never been.
Magic City says,
So these are disgruntled employees. They're biting the hand that feeds them.
I'm Justin Carter, and this is TSR Investigates. But before we get into it, roommates, for more...
I come to work, it's going to be a good night.
But now they're clapping back.
There's $25,000 on the ground, and you're telling me that I'm not getting a dime of my money?
Magic City in Atlanta. People come for the wings and the dancers, but behind the pole...
I call him a in-house pimp.
Claims of illegal activity.
That's greed.
Dancers so afraid to speak to us that we had to hide their identity. They say the club forced them to pay to work, then strip them of the money they made.
Subsidizing other people's paycheck is illegal.
But in a Shade Room exclusive, Magic City says,
$25,000 bag. I was dancing the whole night. The guy Baller came up to me about an hour and a half after I started dancing and said, yeah, you know you're gonna have to pay me, right? Or you could go right now. I'm like, hold on. I'm me. I'm not paying you. You're not shaking this. You ain't right here, but naked doing what I'm doing.
Cheeks is not the only thing that's being served at Magic City recently. That's former stripper Gorgeous Doll, who served up her own lawsuit earlier this year, claiming that she and a number of female dancers at the club have been targeted for years. Targeted not by the founder or owner of Magic City, Marvin Brown, or Michael Mr. Magic Barney, but a man who's not an employee at all, but a promoter who, she says, often came into the club, asked the women to cough up a portion of their earnings that night, and then bounce. No small talk, just took their money and left. He's known to them as Baller.
This man tried to make my life miserable.
Her story time, it went viral on TikTok back in April.
I couldn't handle it no more. I couldn't take it no more.
That was just days after model and influencer Gorgeous Doll, whose real name is Courtney Hale, went public over what she says happened to her starting in 2022.
So when I first went to Magic, it was smooth sailing at first. I had my own clientele who followed me from club to club, throwing money, supporting me in every way. And then I had ran into this, I call him a in-house pimp.
The lawsuit spelling it all out. Quote, Baller took a portion of the tips that Hale earned during 2 or 3 of the shifts that she worked each week, and that Magic City was in part, quote, aware of and or approved of Baller's confiscating of the tips of Hale and other dancers, confiscating tens of thousands of dollars. It goes on to say that Magic City compensated her at an hourly rate of $2.13 per hour plus tips, violating the Fair Labor Standards Act that, quote, requires a rate of at least $7.25 per hour for every hour worked in a work week. Here's where it gets tricky, though. According to the Department of Labor, an employer of a tipped employee is only required to pay $2.13 an hour in direct wages if that amount plus the tips received equals at least the federal minimum wage for each hour worked. If not, the employer must make up the difference.
Every time I brought something to somebody's attention about how this is wrong, I'm now being mistreated. I'm now having issues at work.
Well, who is he? Who is this guy that's the pimp? How they letting him operate inside the club? And they just he must be owe the owner money or something. He must be. The owner must be got involved with this guy, and now he owe him money, and he can't pay him, so he just extorting the strippers, and he letting them do it. That's on. Why is this guy able to do this and inside the club, and he's not even a part of the club? The owner must be in some way owe this man's money or something for some illegal shit.
I'm now having money taken from me. I'm now being charged $300 house fees when it's like most of the other girls are paying $100, $150. It gets to me, $300.
The lawsuit, it continues that Hale was allegedly required to share her tips with employees who did not customarily and regularly receive tips, kickbacks to the DJ, security, and also house fees of $100 to $300 per night.
I would be in a section, say one of my NBA homeboys came in, they give me a wristband, I'm dancing, I make my money. At the end of the night, I'm counting with the girls, and here comes this man that I've never seen before. I want $800 each girl.
What was his role at the club? Was he He wasn't a manager.
Yeah, who was he?
He's not an employee of the club,
Why is
but
he
he's
there?
making between at least $5,000 to $15,000 a night.
And he was authorized. And he was
And
authorized
he
to
was
go
authorized
and
through
tip.
Magic, through management, any type of management, even Magic when I went to them. This guy is demanding that we give him this money. And if not, he's saying he's going to make our lives hell in here.
She says she complained to her managers about it. Even the owner and founder, Michael Mr. Magic Barney.
Really went to Magic. I'm like, hey, this guy's trying to take me out of this bag. I've been dancing here for almost 2 hours. He just walked in. Like, what's going on? He's like, oh, well, if Baller says you're not in it, you're not it. So you mean I just worked for 2 hours? There's $25,000 on the ground, and you're telling me that I'm not getting a dime of my money.
She says, though, the
Wow.
final straw is when she reported sexual harassment, allegedly at the hands of her female manager.
I started to avoid the office when I come to work because I was uncomfortable, but I didn't know how to say that because this person controls my money. They control my house fee. They control if I can get into work or not.
Soon after, she says she stopped getting shifts.
We represent a lot of dancers.
Labor attorney Mitchell Benjamin is representing her and claims in that lawsuit, not only was she let go in retaliation over the harassment, but also for being a whistleblower about unpaid tips, posting about her concerns on social media.
Subsidizing other people's paycheck is illegal. And that's what is happening here. But it's also
Say, well, black people go in businesses. A business could be going smooth, and we'll find a way to fuck it up, doing some shady shit. I'm telling you, that's what it is. Because you see, you heard what the owner said. He said, "Well, that's what it is." Baller said he owed that man. He's in debt with that man for something. I think I watched a documentary about the owner of Magic City. He got into some financial shit with some people. I'm thinking that this guy he owed money to, and this guy is they're collecting what he owes through the girls. That's what I'm thinking. Because if the owner can't stop this guy, he just coming in there, just taking $800 from each girl every night. He bringing home she said $5,000 to $10,000 a night. He making some money. He ain't just going there just getting money out to women. I'm telling you, that's what it is. That the owner Magic probably got involved with some illegal shit with some shady characters, and they sent that guy Baller, whoever he is, in there to collect their debt. And that's what and the guy, since the guy Magic probably can't pay him, he's collecting the debt off the girls. That's what I think it is.
extremely common, having to pay to
Can't
work.
stop this guy.
And sometimes, in lesser clubs and lesser performers, than Gorgeous Doll, people may actually lose money. They'll pay $200 in fees to work that day. And if it's a slow day, they may have worked for nothing or minus money.
This is my story, but there's so many girls with the same story. They're just scared to come and say anything.
And if you get on his bad side, it's hard to make money.
One former dancer, though, did agree to sit down with us with a promise that we'd alter her voice and wouldn't reveal her identity. She worked at Magic City for 6 months and said that she had to give money to Baller almost every shift.
No club that I've ever worked at here in Atlanta or even where I'm from has ever made me pay a third party just to be in a section.
How much was the most you've probably ever given him?
The most I've given him was maybe $800. A lot of people have these pre-notions that strippers are like prostitutes and stuff like that, and we're really not. It's a lot of us that's really working to provide for our families. It's not fair to us that, we're the ones that have to put these shoes on and take our clothes off and literally be naked and then still have to give a large portion of our money. That's greed.
Now, we did check the federal database and found similar lawsuits claiming the same thing, including from Raquel Moore and several other women who say, not only did Magic City fail to pay overtime when they worked over 40 hours per week, quote, while working at Magic City, defendants required me to pay sales every shift, which meant I had to pay a portion of my tips directly to DJs, house moms, front desk employees, and other people who did not receive tips from Magic City's customers. The exact amount of sales I had to pay each shift varied and was determined by the club. For example, if I danced for a customer who gave me a lot of tips, Management would tell me I needed to pay a higher amount of sales that shift. What is the setup, and is this legal? We reached out to Magic City and their longtime attorney, Gary Freed. He got back to us right away.
A lot of this is fantasy. When you break it down, the entertainers continue to work there. They bring home bags of money. I can tell you, I've represented Magic City for 25 years. It runs a very tight and legal operation. Baller is not affiliated with Magic City. He does his own thing. He is a marketer who brings in wealthy folks. He'll reserve a select portion of the club and invite certain of the entertainers to work with him. And as a result of that, they receive astronomical tips. So he is not an employee, independent contractor, affiliate of Magic City. He's our customer and brings people in. He'll reserve in advance, perhaps a section. And what he does with the entertainers is between him and the entertainers.
So he's not an employee, but Magic City and the managers and owners, they allow him to do this?
It would be like you going into an Outback and reserving a room and having a private party and bringing people with you who get tips separately from Outback for the services that they provide. And that's similar to what happens here. He's not affiliated with Magic City. He might make arrangements in advance, and they're happy to have him because what he usually does is bring somebody who's rather famous into the club, which brings notoriety, and that person generally is rather wealthy. And tips very generously. It's a target because of its notoriety, but it's not a target because it does things wrong.
So you believe that the club is being targeted because it is so successful?
And the TV show on Stars, the 5-part series that just came out on Michael Barney.
When it comes to Gorgeous Doll's case,
I can say that Magic City did file an arbitration against her based upon what it perceived was her breach of her confidentiality agreement with the club and defamation. I think from many of the dancers' perspectives, they're biting the hand that feeds them. So these are disgruntled employees, then decide they're going to come back with the plaintiff's lawyer and attack the club.
Something Gorgeous Doll and her team refutes, and looking forward to arguing in court. Magic City says it has arbitration agreements with other dancers who have been named in these lawsuits, and they will attempt to resolve these issues that way so that they can put this all behind them and move on. Of course, we'll let you know what happens. For TSR Investigates, I'm Justin Carter.
That is so crazy. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, so... Yeah, I figured it had to be something. That guy spending big money with them, and he bringing in big clientele. That's why they're not kicking them. They ain't kicking them. He bringing in a lot of cash. He brings in celebrities, rappers, athletes, and that keeps the name of Magic City going. You know, because that rapper may take a picture on a selfie to on his Instagram to his 15 million followers, oh yeah, I'm at Magic City. You know what I'm saying? So that's free advertising. If one of his boys or somebody videotape him, Big Sean could come in, the guy brings in Big Sean and his crew, one of his boys take a video, Big Sean, you see what I'm saying? Oh, I see why. He's making him a lot of money. He's bringing in a lot of cash. That's why. Because he bringing in he got connects with the rappers of Atlanta and probably the athletes. He probably brings in a couple of Atlanta Hawks. He probably bring in a couple of the who's the NBA? Who's the Atlanta Hawks, the Atlanta Falcons. That's probably what it is. So they let him get away with it, and they don't care what he doing to the women. Wait, he get out the women. Like y'all can get, as long as he, because you got to think to reserve 2 or 3. They say he reserves sections, so he puts money down, And you gotta think Magic City to a reservist section probably about $2,000 because of the name of Magic City. He probably reserving maybe 2 or 3 sections for his. Oh, hey man, just letting y'all know I'm bringing in Travis Scott coming in. Travis, I'm bringing in NBA YoungBoy want to fall through. You know what I'm saying? After the concert, NBA YoungBoy, Magic City. He's the NBA YoungBoy is the big name right now. You know what I'm saying? Well, of course, bring me. They know NBA YoungBoy gonna bring stacks. If he ain't bringing stacks, his crew gonna bring stacks, and they're gonna be throwing it up. So we're gonna get at least 10,000 out of that, and whatever you do with the girls, that's your business. You can bring us 10 grand tonight, on a slow night, 'cause you gotta think these strip clubs ain't popping probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Those are probably their slow nights, and dude probably bringing in people on those slow nights when they would be probably broke, by not even bringing in that kind of cash. So they letting him operate. It's money. He's bringing in money. So therefore, y'all just went to deal. The owners and everybody like y'all just went to deal with this nigga bringing in money on slow nights when we don't really have no money. So he's able to rob. He's able to extort the strippers. But I don't know, man. What y'all think? Y'all think these women may get some money from the lawsuit? Let's talk about it in the comments. Hit the thumbs up button.